Hi everyone, I'm Armani and thank you for joining me today. And look who we have here today. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Hariz.
Yes, Hariz. Okay, so Hariz actually our recent Malaysia Regionals Volume 3 champion. Yes. Clap for yourself also. Yes. Can we show the audience the amazing prize that you get?
Yeah.
Yes. I think, look at that beauty right there. We have some questions for you. Okay, we would like to know, I think the audience also would like to know your deck decision, right? You won the whole tournament with Lost Giratina.
Yeah.
Okay, so what made you decide that this is it lah, this is the deck?
I haven't been playing Pokemon as often, especially with the new format, the new meta. And the previous tournaments that I was playing, I was using Lost Giratina. It was a deck that I was comfortable with, something that I had a lot of practice. So about a few days, maybe a week right before the regional itself, I saw some list online and I had my friends Armani as well as Aaron Kang to just get the cards which I feel for me I am capable of playing. That doesn't really require me to getting many reps to practice for it.
You see, it's been a while since you played Pokemon, right? So before the regionals, exactly how many days, a while back that you actually have a good game of Pokemon?
Honestly, I think it's maybe about 4-5 months. I think it's been...
Not even days, but months.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, and immediately you just pick it up and champion. That's natural talent right there. And you mentioned that you play other card games as well. For example?
Currently, I'm playing Flesh and Blood. I've been going about around 2.5 years. That's my main go-to TCG game.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So currently we're in between seasons, in between regional championship and such. So that was why I decided to come back to Pokemon just to have fun, meet some old friends, and just have a day.
Can you run through with us your tournament report, right, on the first day as well as the Swiss rounds and also your knockout round at the top card? Yeah.
Some I'm still a bit sketchy on the actual matchup, but I remember my first round was being with Zoro VSTAR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I remember that because that was also one of my previous deck, but that was like years back. So yeah, it was a good run. I managed to puff early and prevent him from activating his V-Star ability.
Yeah.
And just started taking tempo from there.
Right.
For my second game, I can't really recall. I think it was... Actually, to be honest, I can't really recall my second game.
That means it's not so eventful. Technically, maybe he just path and win. Yeah.
And my third game, I think I remember his name, Afikun. He was a very nice guy.
Okay.
I think he was also playing Lost Zone with Tina as well. It was a mirror match. And it was down to the last second where I already had game in my hand. I just had to wait for him to see whether he managed to disrupt my hand or pull something off, which he didn't. And fortunately, I managed to get it in the end as well, the game. My fourth run was with a nice girl, Cherish.
Okay.
She was playing Zard.
Okay.
And yeah, it was a very close game, but in the end, she managed to get the game over me.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so that was my one loss in the entire tournament.
Okay, against Zard Pidgeot?
Yes, Zard Pidgeot.
Alright.
My fifth game, I think at the point, also I can't really recall who it was actually as well as the deck. But I do remember my following two games, which was both Qian Pao.
Okay.
So both games actually I was falling behind. I think the price trade was like around maybe 5 price, 4 price to 2 price, 3 price on that. And what helped me came back into the game was the Roxanne Path combo.
Okay.
And from then on, I managed to disrupt his hand that he couldn't get the energy.
Right.
As well as keep on pressuring in terms of price taking.
Okay.
So both games, I told my friends as well, like basically both games were games that I should have lost, but just getting both Puff and Roxanne at the same time helped me win it in the end.
Okay, that's amazing.
And my final game was with also another Zard as well.
Okay.
That one was also the same thing, close as well, but then I think I managed to he turned one, he managed to put all 3 Charmanders and 2 Pidgeot. Sorry, yes, 3
Yeah,
Charmanders,
okay.
2 Pidgeot, and a
Okay.
Manaphy.
Okay.
So back to me, I lost zone my Giratina to keep a path, played the path down, and just yes, correct, I did that. And then I just slowly tried to take prize, but the path apparently stick because he couldn't evolve and search.
Right.
And at the end of the game, he told me that at that point of the game, he had 2 rare candies and 2 Zard in hand. But he couldn't, he could evolve, but
He did not want to.
Yes.
He did not want to, okay.
So at that point, for me, what I did was I just kept on boss PG. I wasn't even sure whether that was the right move, but I did it. And from then on, he didn't manage to come back from that.
Yeah, so basically the path stick and your opponent can't do anything.
Yes, correct.
Right, okay. Seems like that is the common theme of your deck, huh? That's what Lost Giratina, the specialty of the deck, right? It's a disruption deck. Okay, now going into the knockout stages in the top cut, right? Maybe can you walk us through your top 16 match?
So my top 16 match was with a nice guy named HL Wong. He was playing Golden Go.
Golden Go, wow!
But this Golden Go was with Caesar, not Palkia.
Alright.
Likewise, I think the same thing. The same thing for the entire duration of my tournament was that the path helped me a lot.
Path to Pete, yes.
Yes. So and then at one point he managed to get down to two price, and I think I managed to Roxanne him to up to a point where he couldn't have enough cards to get the energies to knock out my Tina V-Star back. So that was what helped me win the game in the end as well for that. As for my top 8, I consider this my toughest matchup, and it was a very amazing pilot, Yin Wei. He was playing Lost Zone, Radiant Zard, Roaring Moon. So from the start, because I haven't had much practice as well, so I was already a bit terrified, but I just tried to play through and pressured, and I did try to stick the path as much as possible just to prevent him coming back with Radiant Zard.
Yeah.
Which did work. There were also maybe some things I could have done better, but overall I think I just managed to kept on taking prize and pressuring him. But I would say that he played it very well, and he kept on preventing me from playing Roxanne. He's multiple times Sable Eye just planting damage counters, but not letting me take the third prize. Not letting himself take the third prize.
So he set out the damage, but he didn't take the prize.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Yes. But yes, at that point I think he was just like maybe 1 turn too late to take all 4 prizes from my side, that I managed to knock him out and basically winning that
So
whole run.
he was trying to play around the Roxanne, but kind of backfired.
It did, yes.
Okay, alright.
Then on to my semi-final. This was with Kai Jian.
It was a sick game.
He was an amazing player. He is one of the few players that I do have a lot of respect for in the community, and he is a very amazing Mew player. I was just quite prepared because the one matchup that I honestly didn't want to lose was to Mew, which was why in my deck I had no Manaphy, but instead I put a Spiritomb.
Yes, it was actually a really ballsy play. The whole tournament, guys, he won the whole tournament without Manaphy in his deck. Instead, he chose the Spiritomb, which paid off.
It did, definitely.
Yeah.
So with my first game, so all my games during the entire tournament, I just choose to go first. That's my go-to move, no matter what, regardless of the opponent. So when with him as well, I think I won the dice roll, and I went first. I managed to set the first Pokemon I was looking for was the Spiritomb. I managed to place it down. And then from then on, I technically forced him to use his Forest Seal Stone to get Alessa. And from the Alessa to put it on one
SQ.
One on the SQ, but one on the Genesect to get him to draw. So basically, that was one problem solved, that he no longer has the Forest Seal Stone left. And from then on, I rely more on my path to then prevent him even further later on.
Which really worked out.
With game 2 as well, I think I basically managed to path early and prevent him from setting up, which eventually helped me win that game as well.
Alright, but do you know that, for the audience, if you guys do not know, game 2 it was so sketchy because Hariz, his Lost Zone have a lot of energy cards.
Yes,
he has to Lost Zone at least about 4 energy the first 3 turns. And all of us when we were spectating, right, we were really wondering how is he going to handle the whole game with such a so little resource.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now moving on to your final match.
Yeah, so my final match was with Hung from Pichu Bros. Again, this is a very nice fella who just started playing around the same time as Gardevoir appeared. So that was his deck for a long time and he played it very well. But the thing about this game was that it was a very fun and relaxed game. We were both having fun, chit-chatting and talking, and we were just like playing through the motions of what we do. He did manage to set up very fast. I think there was like what, 3-4 Koreas by turn 2, and I was a bit behind, but I did manage to come back with
The signature.
the Shadow Requiem on his Guardy and then Puff as well, just to block him even more. And eventually I did take game 1. Game 2 I was...
But guys, he's just being humble. The game 1, alright, at the moment that he needed, he actually drew the Roxanne path,
Yes.
and he win the game just from doing the Roxanne path. The opponent actually promoted the Gardevoir EX, right?
Yes.
And then he Roxanne path in the same time you did your V-Star.
Correct.
Yes, and that kind of like set you
It did.
help you across the finish line lah.
Also, I think because a bit of my fatigue played into it, that basically I was quite tired at the time. But when I drew the Roxanne, I really played.
Yeah, he was so excited he didn't attach the energy card.
I forgot to attach the energy to my front Pokemon
Yes.
for a retreat.
Yes.
So, I mean, there was a aspect of luck that was involved there. Basically, when I drew back from the Roxanne, I managed to draw a switch
Yes.
to retreat.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was very fortunate. Now his game 2 is so sketchy again, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
I can't recall exactly also what happened in game 2, but I think I just kept falling behind.
Yeah.
And he, again, same thing, he managed to set up 4 Kyrias at a one shot and together with the Manaphy, and I just couldn't find a way to pressure him enough.
I think you had a lot of tough decisions with your Lost Zone, right?
Yeah.
Flower selecting 2 energy card.
Correct.
Chorus experiment, like a lot of energy card again. Yeah.
So I was playing on limited resources, but then I did still try to break through. But then I think he managed to find the game in the end. So but he played amazingly well. So credit to him that he actually managed to pull off the win. Then we went to game 3, and game 3 I think we had like around 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, it was actually anticlimactic due to the time call.
Yeah.
Right.
But so again, I managed to set up game 3 with a comfy and a few stuff. I managed to flower select and get I think like 4 in the Lost Zone in the second on turn 2. But unfortunately my Cramorant was priced. So I had to rely on Tina, and I had to wait for 3 more cards in the Lost Zone before I can activate Mirage Gate.
Yes. So I think at that point it was already time call, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, but then somewhat fortunate for me was that he couldn't set up his rocks. So he had a Mew and I think maybe a Manaphy or something.
Yeah, from Jirachi, I think.
Or maybe
Something
Jirachi.
Jirachi,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
Jirachi and a Mew. And he had to rely on the Mew's Mysterious Tail,
Yes.
which didn't get him his
he whiffed.
his Battle VIP pass. And then after that also he tried to Avery just to
Yes.
draw cards to get it, but that also whiffed as well. So he couldn't get that. Then he just passed back to me, and I did manage to chorus plus floor second to get 3 more cards, activate Mirage Gate, and
And there we go.
yeah.
And that's how he take down the Volume 3 of the Malaysia Regionals. After the tournament, what is your general feeling? How do you feel about the entire tournament, and how do you feel right now actually?
Earlier yesterday when we were at the whole tournament, the first thing I felt was exhausted because it has been a long day. But overall sense of relief, because all of them were amazing players and it took a lot of thinking, decision making to be able to navigate through each and every one of the matchups. As for now, it's finally kicking in, and I do feel extremely happy, extremely motivated, definitely. And it's just it's like a goal and a bucket list that's
Yes.
been ticked off.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Is this your first win for a major tournament, or before this have you actually achieved any wins before in a Pokemon tournament?
I mean, this type of level of tournament is the first. I mean, I've had like top 4, top 8 finishes in like regionals or even the Asia Open
Yep.
and such. But to win one, especially with 500 people participating,
554, I think, yes.
So this is a totally new one and something that I will definitely won't be able to forget.
And since you said that you're so motivated, now moving into the next format, right? Definitely, I think everyone also is curious to know: are you still going to pilot Giratina? In the new format.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm also currently a Flesh and Blood player, and our season is currently right now at a high. So there's a lot of more tournaments and things for me that I am focusing on as well. Given that maybe the time constraint and such, I might not have enough reps or time to deck test with my friends and everything. So I might go back and return to a comfort pick, which is Tina. But I have seen a couple decks that are available in the new format that did pique my interest. That if I do have the time, I might give it a few chances to go as well.
Then maybe you can share with us the top 3 decks that you have your eye on.
The first one that I am interested in is the Ancient Box.
Ancient Box
with the Roaring Moon and
Roaring Moon, Corridon.
Corridon, yes, correct.
The Fluttermane.
Yes.
Is it the baby ancient Pokemon, right?
Correct.
I call that the Jurassic Park deck. Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's the top one, and the other one I think that I saw as well was the Dialga Metang deck.
Okay. Yeah, that's really spicy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean overall, I'm still giving it a go. I will miss having Puff in the format.
Yes. Which literally won you the whole tournament, right?
Yeah, it did.
One more deck. What other deck? One more, if you were to pick for the next format.
I mean, potentially might just be a hype, but I might be interested in the future deck as well with the Iron Crown.
Right.
Yes.
So, is it more towards the Iron Hands plus the Iron Crown, or is it going to be the Future Box variant?
I guess depending on the meta wise, but it could be the Future Box variants. I think I like those kind of options you have in the deck.
Right. Alright guys, our champion would like to give some shoutouts. Okay, yes, over to you.
Yeah, so I don't usually do like tournament reports or everything as most people do, but I do want to convey a lot of thanks to both Armani as well as Aaron Kang, because like I said, I only managed to get the deck. I requested for the deck a few days before the tournament itself, and both of them managed to get the components and help me build the deck itself possibly a day before the tournament itself. So a huge shout out to both of them for helping me and basically just kept me on my feet, motivating me after each round as well as Atavan and Colin as well.
I think that's all we have, for today's session. I hope the audience, enjoy your sharing. Right? I enjoyed your sharing. Okay, but before we go, maybe you can give a little bit of advice on, the journey to be a champion. What does it take, to be a champion? All right, maybe 1 or 2 advice.
To be honest, for me, there wasn't really much that I did, but I think the main thing was that my mindset going through the tournament was just that I'm going there to have fun, just to have a chill, casual game, and try not to overthink and try not to stress too much about my decisions. And to be honest, I think that was the main factor that helped me pull through that. I didn't have to overthink or have to doubt my decision. I just played through the motions, and apparently it did pay off as well in that sense.
Amazing. Alright, thank you so much. Goodbye. See you, bro.
See you.